Hello, my name's Tracey Allen and I'm from stampandscrap.uk. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I am doing this class on Microscope slide because I've been requested to do it by various people. So you're going to learn how to make these 5 slides. This one is just patterned paper. This is patterned paper with stamping on it. This is washi tape. This is stamping, and this is stamped and watercoloured. So we're just going to put those to one side. Now in your kit you will receive 50 plain Microscope slides, and I will actually write on them plain fronts, and if they're not sealed, which I think these ones are, I'll write on the side of the box as well. If yours is sealed, when you open it, write on the side of the box so that when you take the lid off you know which ones they are. It's fairly obvious, but frosted backs, Microscope slides, 50 bales, some aluminium plumber's tape. Now you can buy aluminium plumber's tape in 8mm lengths. However, I never buy that because I can use this for so much more. I use this for, I put this on cardstock and run it through the embossing folder and it looks like metal. So that's why I've given you a wider tape in your kit. E6000 glue. This needs to be used in a ventilated room. The tiny amounts you're using, it shouldn't really be a problem if you've just got a small window open. So, oh yes, and 2 pieces of patterned paper, and this is Affectionately Yours DSP, which is new out, so there you go. So that's your kit. Right, so what else you will need are, is a piece of Whisper White cardstock, Love and Affection stamp set, From Land to Sea stamp set, Playful Background stamp set. Now I haven't got the box with this because I got that convention. And I use Creatively Yours and stamp on the back of mine because I sell mine, so if you want to sell yours you have to do that. So there's stamp sets we'll be using. Inks we'll be using, you will need archival black ink, which I had here a second ago. The in colour markers. And then you will need markers or ink of the following: Indigo, Night of Navy, Melon Mambo, Tangerine Tango, Perfect Plum, Bermuda Bay, Soft Sky, Real Red, and Wink of Stella pen. You'll need a trimmer and a bone folder, a poker tool or craft knife, and acrylic blocks. I'm using B, D and H, and yeah, mine are really dirty, but there you go. So that's what you'll be using. Right. So the first thing you're going to do is you are going to cut your tape and your cardstock. So you will need Whisper White cardstock, and you are going to cut 1 inch by 3 inch pieces. Now I know I don't need to tell you how to cut 1 by 3 inch pieces of cardstock, but you will need 2 per Microscope slide. For the next step you'll need a little bit of washi tape. So you're going to take your plumber's tape, aluminium tape, and you're going to feed it into your trimmer. You're going to line it up at 9 inches. Like so. Pull that down. and cut. Now each of these will give you 5, for definite, 5 strips of 8mm tape, and as I'm only doing 5 today, I'm only cutting 1 strip, but if I was doing a big session of and making a lot, I would cut each of these strips all at the same time. Now, to make this as easy as possible, I have found, after a fair few years of doing it a different way, that just putting a little tiny bit of washi tape on the edge, in fact I've used way too much washi tape for that, but it doesn't matter. You're going to line this up. I need to move this now. You're going to line this up at 8mm, which is just 2 under the 1cm mark. Why is this not looking right? There we go. 2 under the 8, and then you're going to put the tape down and trim. That's 1. And pull this up, move it across, line up on the 8mm mark, making sure it looks pretty straight on the board. Trim. So tape down, it just removes this moving when you're putting the bar down. So 8mm, I'll just put my washi tape over. There we go. Right, so 8mm, making sure it's pretty straight, tape down, I've never managed to get a full 6 out. I don't think the tape's necessarily cut straight, and because we're working in such tiny measurements, each little inaccuracy makes a lot of difference. So there's our 5 strips, and we have this bit left. Don't throw these away. You can patchwork these onto a piece of cardstock, makes quite an interesting background. Right, so we've cut our backs, our fronts and our tape, so we don't need the trimmer anymore. The first slide that we're going to make is this one with the Affectionately Yours DSP, and for this you will need your piece of Designer Series patterned paper, which I have no, they're spare bits. Aha! So we need this. Now, as you can see, I have some other bits. This one's a good example. So this one would not be any good for making a slide, because you will lose 2mm on each edge, so it means that your pattern would be all over one side. So you need a piece that's got a decent amount of pattern in the middle. You are going to take a Wink of Stella pen, and you are just going to colour in the flowers with the Wink of Stella, and you don't want to watch me do that, so here's one I did earlier. So that's done. You're then going to take a bail, a front, a back, and a back. Now I stamp mine with Creatively Yours Creatively Yours stamp set, and sign it, and that's my back. If you're selling them, you have to put Stampin' Up on the back. So now I can see that I've got a little bit of an inaccuracy on that one. I'm just going to trim that. Don't know why. There you go, it happens. So I'm going to put the front on, the back on. Now the easiest way to see whether this is the front or back is to scratch it, and I hate doing that because it sets my teeth on edge. So what you do is you get the right reflecting. Now you can see on the frosted bit, you can see the reflection is just as strong as there. On the back, oh, I can't get the reflection now. Typical. Nope. There we go. The reflection disappears. So that, you know, that's the side you want out. So that goes at the top, because this is where we're going to adhere our bail. And if you don't have this, you can sand it on a flat one, but I get a much better adhesion on this frosted section. So that's our microscope slide prepped. So for the next bit, I put the slide in my hand like that. I have tape in this hand, just give it a smooth. Take a poker tool. You also need a bone folder. You'll need your adhesive and your bail. So the first thing I do is I take the back off. I just find the poker tool gets behind it a lot easier than my nails. So we're going to pull this off, line that up again, and then position that. Oh, that's not quite right. So it is approximately in the middle. Is that in the middle? That's straight? Yeah. Straight-ish. Right, so you want it in the middle. If you're going to have a little bit more on one side than the other, have it on the back, not the front. That's probably not enough on the front. You need approximately 2 mils. That looks a bit narrow. So I'm going to hold it like this so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. I think that's right. It's really difficult to see sometimes when the light's shining on your slide. You can't actually see the tape for the reflection. And because I'm holding it so you can see what I'm doing, I can't see that well what I'm doing. So yeah, I think yep, that's about right. So you're going to gently pull, keeping it the same same distance. All the way down, and then same again, same distance all the way down, gently pull, same distance all the way down. That's gone a bit wider at the bottom. About right. So when you get to this edge, you want to make sure that that aligns, that these two lines edges align. And you're going to fold that back, take your snips, and snip, and gently smooth down. You're now going to run your fingers along the edges Gently. Right. Then you're going to push in to the centre there. So then you're going to push in and smooth up at the same time, like so, and push in and smooth up. But you can leave 1/4 of an inch from the edge, and then you're going to take your fingernail and you're just going to push up, and you'll get a little bit of an angle, and then you're going to push down. So fingernails up to the edge, bit of an angle on these corners, and then push down. Turn it round, push up and in. You can do the corner at the same time. Push up and in. And there you go. So this is your first slide. You're going to take your bone folder and gently smooth. Turn it over. Smooth the back. You're going to take your bail and you're going to add the tiniest amount of glue. Now don't push on this because this glue comes out really quickly. You're just going to put a dab of glue on there. Now when I say a dab, you can't actually see there's much glue on that at all. I'll bring it up to show you. So you can see there's no, you can see you can't see any glue on that, but it's there. You then decide you're deciding which is the top, so that's the top. You're going to put the glue on the back. So you're going to push down and slide up, and that will give you a little bit of glue on the back. So I think you can see that. You're going to count for a couple of seconds, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and then you're going to push them together. And you're going to line that up in the centre. Hold it for a couple of seconds, and then put it to one side for a couple of days. A couple of days will give you a really good bond. So that's slide number 1. Slide number 2 is this slide here, and we are using the back of the same cardstock. So with the piece of cardstock that's got not enough pattern on the front, you can then use it to stamp on. And for this we are using the same the stamp set. Where's it gone? Oh, there it is. Love and Affection, and we are going to take the small flower, and I'm using today the new in colours. So we're going to stamp, I'm going to stamp right down in this corner. Don't know why I shut that. There we go. That's our initial stamping done. I'm going to put this away before I use it. And this time I'm going to use the buds. So we're going to colour in first, and I am using the New In colours, which are not there. I'm using the New In colours, which are Flirty Flamingo, Sweet Sugar Plum, Emerald Envy, Peekaboo Peach and Dapper Denim. Put those to one side for a second. Now this is quite a dark background, so we're going to put lots of layers of colour on this. And unfortunately I haven't got one that I did earlier, only the completed one, and that's no good. So what you need to do is build up a good 3 or 4 layers of colour on. And you can just keep adding it until you're happy. So I'm happy that that's showing up as a strong enough colour. And the same goes with the peach. So this is one. And Flirty Flamingo. No, Sweet Sugar Plum this one is. So just keep adding layers of colour until you're happy with the intensity. And then I'm going to add the same here. Now because this is quite dark, now I've added lots and lots of layers of colour over the pattern. I am going to use Dapper Denim to do the little tiny flower in the centre. And just stamp in the centre of all the flowers. There we go. So there's the Dapper Denim and the Emerald Envy, and we're going to stamp this where this isn't. So and then we're going to stamp that in there. So that's the piece. Do I want a bit there? Yeah, actually I do want a few bits here. So I'm just going to probably put a bit more in there and a bit more in that little gap there, just to give it a bit more interest. There we go. So again, we're going to use our Wink of Stella. I mean, you can not put Wink of Stella on them. I just have a bit of a Wink of Stella fetish for these. I just think they make them look just that bit more interesting. I'm quickly going over all the flowers and the little buddy flowers, and that one in the corner. And you can actually put layers of Wink of Stella on. If you want the main flowers to stand out more, just put another layer of Wink of Stella on, and that will intensify the glitter in that area. Right, so to show you how to make the microscope slide again, you take a plane, you take a back, and that's way bigger. So at this point, before you put the other slide on, take your snips and just gently run down the side. You will hear a bit of grating, don't worry about it, and gently run down the bottom. There we go. Take your back, remembering how to select the back. That's the back. Oh, I put that upside down, I think. No, actually, I like it that way up. So that's my top, that's my bottom. Right, hold it in your hand like so. Take your tape, pull it smooth. That's as smooth as you can be. Take off the washi tape that was left over from cutting it out. Take your pokey tool, get your head in the way. Side of the back. Right. So, got that lined up. And I'm going to try and do it so you can definitely see. So we are going to put the tape halfway. That's that piece again I cut out yesterday that was left over. Always keep your leftover pieces in a different place than your pieces that you just cut out. So we'll do it again. There we go. So we're going to make sure they're lined up. Take your tape, put it half and half. I think that's probably about right. Oh, a little bit not straight. I hope you can see. So it's halfway at the front, halfway at the back, and straight along the edge. So you're going to hold that down, and you're just going to pull that out. Keeping it straight down the edge, smooth it as you go. Don't bend these in. So again, straight, Smooth it as you go. Straight. Just smooth gently all the way along. And then we get back to the top, ensuring that this edge here lines up with this edge here. Have a bit of an overlap. And then cut away the excess with your snips. And smooth that down. Push in at the centre. Slide up on one side to about 1/4 of an inch. Fingernails up. Fingernails up. And then fold down. Other side. Fingernails up. Fingernails up. And fold down. Take your bone folder, smooth all around the edge, turn over, do the back, take your bail and your glue. Little tiny drop of glue. Actually, it's not actually coming out at all. Oh, no, see, too much. If you do get too much, I have a spare bit of cardstock left over from, and I just gently smooth it over and take off any excess. Make sure you've got the top, put that in the middle, push down and then pull up, and that will transfer enough glue onto there. Count to about 2 or 3 seconds, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and then place it in place, push down, making sure it's centered, and then put to one side for 2 days. Another one done. Next we're going to do the washi tape. Now, I've got a couple of versions of washi tape. This is the one we're going to do, which is, I've lost the completed one. So you're going to take a front, your washi tape, and you're going to start with your, well, you can do lots of different patterns, but I'm doing diagonal. So you're going to put your first piece of washi tape on the diagonal. Doesn't have to be anywhere specific, just from one corner to the other corner, and then trim off. Get rid of your spare bits off your snips. And then you're going to do your next colour, and this is the Peekaboo Peach washi tape from the Playful Patterns washi tape. So you're going to snip that off. And snip that off. Get rid of your spare washi. Now leave that end like that, because that will be used again in a second. We're going to take our green striped washi. We're going to stick that down like so. I've missed a bit down there, but it's within the 2mm safety zone, so I'm not worried. Going to trim that off there. Going to trim this off here. Now this piece may well fit down here, which it does. So we're going to take that, line it up with the edge, trim off any excess. We're then going to take this bit that was left from the bit before, we're going to stick that down. Yep. I'm just going to tear that off. And we're going to trim the edge, cover it with Wink of Stella, which I've already done. Now that does have to sit aside to dry. I'll show you. The Wink of Stella actually pools and puddles. So if I do this up here, you might be able to see it's not really light enough. So it pools and moves, so you have to set it aside to dry. Once it's dry, just do the same again, front, back, stamped back. So you put that on the front, that on the back. Take your foil, just going to show you once more the foil, and then if I haven't made it clear by then, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to. So pokey tool to get the foil off. So foil in the middle, tape all the way around. So pull it gently, line it up so you've got the same amount of tape at the front all the way around, which I've actually lined it up a little bit wrong. It's a bit narrow at the front, but it doesn't matter as long as you keep the same distance all the way around. It will be fine. So ensuring that that is aligned at the front and snip. Push in at the sides, go up to the top but leave a 1/4 inch, up to the top but leave a 1/4 inch, fingernails and push down, push up with your fingernails to create an angle, push down, same at the other end, fingernails up, push down. So once more you push in and up, fingernails into the corner and push down. Take your bone folder, smooth all the way around. And put your bail on. Don't forget to do that. Take your pendant, position the bail in the middle, push down and pull up, and that should put enough glue on the back. Count to 2 or 3, or Mississippi 2, Mississippi 3, Mississippi. That gives just a few seconds for the glue to go off. Position the bail in the centre straight up. Slide number 3. Put aside for 2 days to dry. This is one that I did with a different set of washi tape. This was the Love and Affection washi tape set. I hope you can see. Probably not very well. There we go. So that's a different thing you can do. I've just mixed them all up. So there you go. Next one we're doing is... Can't find the original slide. Aha! Here we go. So you're going to take your plain piece and we are going to use Soft Sky, piece of sponge. So we're going to put a lot of Soft Sky ink onto our block. Pick it up with a sponge and you're going to turn it over because that shouldn't have happened. I forgot to rub it off. Soft Sky on the sponge. Now we're going to I know I used you get like I used a sponge thing on the first one, which is why it's a lot smoother. So just going to build this up. That's fine. Now we're going to use Emerald Envy, Dapper Denim and Peekaboo Peach. For this we need the leaves. So we'll do our leaves first. So we're going to actually stamp off, because I've changed the colours from the original, and I know that the leaves are too strong on this. So stamp off and stamp on, and again stamp off and stamp on, stamp off and stamp on. So there's 3 leaves. Put that away, and we're going to get the teeny no. Oh, that stamp is so easy to lose. No, I've lost my stamp. Flip. I'm gonna stamp. So anyway, I've lost one of the stamps from that stamp set. Right, so I'm going to ink up the Dapper Denim first, as it's the darkest. Stamp off, and I'm going to stamp it there. Stamp off and stamp it there. Stamp off and stamp it there. This one's a lot more subtle than the last one. So now we're going to do Peekaboo Peach. We're not going to stamp off with this because it's very light anyway. Till there. We're going to use the darkest, I think, just to put the little circle in the middle of the flower. We're then going to take Playful Backgrounds, I think it's called. We're going to ink it up with Archival. Move all those out of the way. And we don't want a lot, we want some biggish biggish. I'm going to stamp these on one at a time. So I want a big stamp. Got a couple of little ones up there, and I want these ones there. So that's it. And we're going to take our Wink of Stella and just fill in all the bubbles with the Wink of Stella. Now the original colours, if you prefer the original colours, they were Tangerine Tango and Lost Lagoon and Wild Wasabi. So you see it's quite a different, more subtle look with this one. It does look slightly more intense under the glass, I think. That's the back. And I need to put it back on, which I haven't got with me. I've got my stamped back. I've misplaced my stamp back. So I'm just going to put that on top. And then that's the new in colour version, which is a lot more subtle. I like both versions. Right, so I'm not going to bother putting backs on that. You've seen how to do that. We're going to finish with the lighthouse. So I'm going to take the From Atlantis stamp set. We're going to place it on a block. We're going to stamp it in archival, which I've put somewhere. Not having a good day. Going to stamp in archival. Now I'm doing this on to Whisper White cardstock. You can do it on watercolour paper and your colours will end up more intense. I quite like the faded look, so this is what I go for. So I'm going to put that down one side, and then we are going to take these colours. So we've got Soft Sky, Tangerine Tango, Melon Mambo, should be Real Red, Island Indigo, Perfect Plum, Daffodil Delight, and Dapper Denim. Now you don't need to use possibly all these colours, but this is what I'm doing. You also need a water brush, right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to take the Soft Sky and scribble it on a block. Then I'm going to pick it up with my water brush and I'm going to go all over the background with the Soft Sky. You don't want it even, and then I'm going to flip that over, and for the sea I'm going to do the same thing with Dapper Denim. Realise you can't see what I'm doing. Haha. So the sea is going to come up to there, and we're just going to gently do it backwards and forwards. Then you're going to pick up Neat and you're going to put waves in. So that's your sea. You can clean your brush, or the other option is to make it really watery, really watery, and you're just going to put little bits of it into the sky. So you can leave the sky there, and that'd be a daytime sky, but we're not going to do that. We're going to make a nighttime. So I'm going to put pink in it. I'm going to put Tangerine Tango into it. I want quite a lot of Tangerine Tango. I like Tangerine Tango in skies. And we're going to put some purple into it. I'm using Perfect Plum. And then we're going to go all over it again in a minute with Island Indigo. I should have left a space for the light. So, and then I'm going to add some more colour over the top of that. Let's add more pink. A little bit of pink in the water. This will all soften down once it's dry. Now, we can take the Wink of Stella and we are going to put it where light would be. This will actually push some of the ink out of the way. Whether it will push enough ink out of the way, I don't know. I'm then going to take the thin end of the red, real red, and we're just going to go up and down like that, following the lines, like so. I'm going to take the Wink of Stella and just run it down the light section of the lighthouse, just where the light's hitting. We're going to put a little bit of Wink of Stella in the sea, because the sea will have sparkles. And you can actually see where this is pushing out the colour slowly. And then I'm going to put the lid on the Wink of Stella, and that's that finished. So that's your lighthouse. I have a few made, and as you can see they all turn out fairly similar. Sometimes the sea is darker, sometimes the sea is lighter. This will all lighten down quite a bit, so it'll end up probably more like those. So if you do want it darker in the sea, you can also add extra bits in the sea with the pen. And you can actually darken the rest of it up as well. So taking the Dapper Denim, and I'm just going to add a bit more dark, especially around the edges. Just blending that in. And again around. So that will end up a bit darker than that one. Right, so that's the Microscope slide pendants. I hope you enjoyed. There is a little bonus gift in your kit, and it is a little collection of stamps. There will be random stamps, so I don't know which ones you've got. So basically, to do this you need your snail, and you are going to, I quite like the elephant, so let's put him across the middle. I actually quite like Kenya as well, so what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to take off that, and I'm going to use that probably up. I don't want it the same way as that, and I don't want it as visible. I might use that on a different one. Probably the man. I like the orange, so let's put that in there. I like the pink, but I want to keep the elephant. And make sure it doesn't cover the elephant. I like this orange. Again, I don't want to cover the elephant. And these brown ones I don't particularly like, so they get stuck in. Or bits of the... we'll use the... this bit of this for that. And... won't stick. Obviously I missed that bit. So now what we do, we turn it over and we just trim off any excess. Take a front, take a back. Oops. And there you have another Microscope slide pendant. I really like these stamp ones, I think they're quite impressive. So I hope you've enjoyed the class. I will be doing another class soon. If you enjoyed this one, please don't hesitate to take another one and enjoy messy crafting. Thanks, bye.